NASCAR Championship weekend coming up the first week of November. And of course, for those of you guys who know, we don't just crown 3 champions in 3 days. We actually crown 4 champions in 3 days. The ARCA Menards West Series will, of course, come to town with all their plethora of young stars in the world of NASCAR. To get us ready a little bit for the ARCA Menards Series West coming to Phoenix Raceway in a few months, we are joined by the driver, the HMH Construction number 88 Chevy SS from Brisbane, Australia. It's Bridget Burgess. Bridget, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. It looks like you've had a pretty busy week last week. You got to drive the DeLorean. Did you get that up to 88 at least?
No.
Oh, man.
I wish I did.
See what that thing can do. Maybe go back in time and see your mom driving back in Australia a little bit. We'll get a little bit into the family lineage, but first and foremost, gotta look at what you guys are doing this year. You got a brand new car, able to take it out a few times, started back in March right here in Phoenix, and you have been home of so many disciplines of racing. You have the trucks, you were driving an F3 car recently, you have a lot of experience in a lot of different ways. But for you, what has been the biggest obstacle to overcome here in the stock cars?
I'd say our biggest obstacle is just still learning the setup of the car. Just as a family team, we don't have a hired crew chief. So it's just my parents and I learning with what we have. And then thankfully we get advice from other people and other teams. We're very thankful for that. But I'd say that's our biggest obstacle. And just like any race team, everything also comes down to a budget. It's not unlimited. We depend on sponsorship money, which is a tight budget. So we work with what we have and we learn.
Getting ready to go to Colorado for the next race, the ARCA Menards West Series. And you go back to March. You had the opportunity to race under the lights at Phoenix with the entire NASCAR weekend. And I heard that being able to race under the lights for the first time at a track like that was kind of a big deal for you. So what did it mean to you to finally get that opportunity? You were racing on the national level. You had the Xfinity Series there, the Cup Series, and racing with the ARCA Menards National Series. What was that experience like for you?
I enjoyed it. The car number was amazing. The amount of cars I was racing against. Even though I did have a fuel problem, which put me a fair amount of laps back, it was still a great learning experience. And yeah, racing under the lights was really fun. I did enjoy that. I'd say the most interesting part was how there was amazing lighting through turns 3 and 4. And then between turn 4 and turn 1, there was just not much lighting. So it's like you would go into a fully lit track on one end, and then on the other side, it wasn't really like that. It actually reminded me a bit of off-road because we used to race at nighttime, and you would go into a corner where it would be perfect, and then there would be another corner where it didn't have the same amount of lighting, and you couldn't see the ruts. So I enjoyed racing under the lights in Phoenix.
And you guys now are based at Utah, or in Utah, I guess I should say. Correct grammar there. But you guys don't really get to race in Utah or at your home track. Colorado's going to be the closest thing. You guys go to Phoenix. Lots of races in California. Most of the West Series drivers, they're based in California. So what is it like for you guys? You got to haul out every single week.
So I'm not going to complain about living in Utah, especially because our garage is based at a racetrack. So I have amazing opportunities to drive. And considering we have 2 road course races this year, we had Sonoma in June. Therefore, I did 200 laps on my home track before I went to Sonoma. And then on top of that, we go back to a road course in September for Portland, Oregon. And I still get that amazing driving experience. And then if I want to practice on an oval, I actually go to Magic Valley Speedway, which is in Twin Falls, Idaho. So I haven't taken my ARCA car up there yet. I do plan to because I do love that oval track. I wish ARCA actually went there. It's a really fun short track. And then on top of that, being based at Utah Motorsports Campus, the other day I drove a Formula 3 car, and it's still, people know me and they know how I can drive. Therefore, they're always just drive my car, go take it out. So I've driven several Porsches, the Formula 3 car, Pro Formula Mazda, So yeah, despite I'm not close to other teams, I still get amazing opportunities out here. So yeah.
Another thing that I read up on is that you're kind of into the business side of motorsports, and that's a lot of behind the scenes current stuff that a lot of fans just don't really understand. So from at least what you've experienced, because you have had, even though it's been a couple years in the stock cars, you guys get in the nitty gritty, the down and dirty kind of stuff, not with the expensive nice shops and the expensive brand new cars every single year. So what's some of the business side that you enjoy that a lot of fans just don't really understand?
So definitely something that I'm known for is just being a hustler, like working really fast. And I make opportunities happen. It's like, yeah, when it comes to working on the car, I'm at the shop every day. So this morning I got here at 6 a.m. because we're in a rush to get ready for Colorado. So it's definitely working hard, and not many people realize, because everyone hears that I work on my car, but they don't realize like it's every day. Even on weekends, there's no such thing as like time off. It doesn't really exist in my world. And when it comes down to like business meetings, I am definitely there for it. I don't have anyone else handling it for me. My mom is by my side. She's definitely my mentor, and she teaches me how to handle sponsors. So it's a great learning experience for my behalf that not many drivers get.
And now, speaking of your mom, she's your mechanic, your crew chief, your pit crew, literally everything. And then, of course, you're the driver. Your dad helps out a lot. But if your mom's around, you want to say anything, just really nice things about her, maybe get some kudos, and maybe she does some extra work for you this week or something, or...
Yeah, she's definitely been like by my side all the time. She's I don't think many people get to say that their mom's the crew chief and mechanic. And she also, again, helps me with my sponsors. She teaches me a lot about the business side. And she's just been there as my coach through everything. So I'm very thankful for her. I don't think I would be here without her.
But in all seriousness, I mean, she's like a one-woman army. She is your entire pit crew, changing all 4 tires and gassing up the car. Back in November, she's trying to fix up the car a little bit too. I mean, she does everything. And so when it comes to seeing her work ethic on what you do, everything that she does, she doesn't do an 8-minute pit stop for her. She does it for you. So seeing that work ethic, what does that mean to you to be able to watch that and go, dang, she's doing all this for me. That's for me.
Yeah. So it's definitely, she inspires me every day. Like I see her work ethic, and she's taught me so much throughout the past few years about this. And she works extremely hard. She's like the most independent woman I've ever come across. Like she makes it happen, and she doesn't do it for attention. She does it because the hustle side of me definitely came from her. Like it's what she is. She hustles for work. She hustles for sponsorships. And it's, work ethic. That's all she's about.
And of course, moving forward, I think that she will want that opportunity to drive in a stock car with you one day, because she has this plethora of motorsports experience as well. And when that happens, you're going to be the veteran trying to teach her how to drive the stock car. What do you think is going to be her biggest obstacle to overcome when she hops into a stock car and you're trying to teach her?
I think we are planning on doing a race together sometime this year. I can't exactly say which track, but I think her biggest obstacle will be getting used to how the car feels, because in NASCAR, they don't really compare to anything that we've driven. My mom, she's done off-road, drifting, rallycross, and when you get into a NASCAR, you have to get used to that loose feeling, and you're controlling this 3,400-pound car with 600 horsepower to do what you want. And if you can't control the car will beat you up. I think that's going to be her obstacle, but she's also a fast learner, so I'm sure she'll do well in it.
All right, talking to the BMI racing driver of Bridget Burgess in the ARCA Menards West Series. Before I let you go, got to do a quick segment called Quick Time. Got some rapid fire questions for you, looking for some rapid fire answers in return. You ready to set quick time, Bridget?
Yeah.
All right, first and foremost, you've ran a lot of different disciplines of cars. Your favorite track to race at, though, regardless of the car?
It would definitely have to be Sonoma.
Alrighty, you got the twists and turns. Kind of goes back to your roots, but why exactly Sonoma?
It's a driver's track, and I love the loose feeling it had, and also the hills, like going up a hill and just turning, and then that was amazing. I enjoyed that. It was like NASCAR and off-road put together for me because I hit the dirt several times to pass people, so it was really fun.
You went actual off-road racing at Sonoma, literally.
Yep.
Your favorite city that you've traveled to for a race so far?
I think it would also have to be Sonoma. I think it's so pretty there.
All right, I got a little trivia question. It's just kind of, I'm looking for a guess out of you. How many drivers born outside of North America have ever won in the ARCA West Series?
I don't think so, no.
No, 0. You would be the first.
Yeah,
No
that's
driver outside
interesting. I
North
didn't even
America.
think of that.
No driver outside
One
North
day.
America has ever won in the ARCA West Series. Only Canada, Mexico, and the United States. That's it.
Well,
Potential
I'll have to
history.
make that happen.
Alrighty, so you've done a lot of different kind of professional racing or just at least competition racing. Although, like you said, you've ran some Porsches, you've ran some F3 cars on your own. But at the pro level, besides NASCAR, what discipline would you like to do most?
I think something that I would want to drive or race is Porsche Cup. So it's something that I've kind of been interested in. My one goal in racing, besides NASCAR, my goal for NASCAR is definitely in Daytona 500, but my goal outside of NASCAR would be the 24 Hours of Daytona.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, your ideal race day meal.
It's always gonna have something with meat and protein. So usually, that's a good question actually, because we're always in a rush, and I don't eat a lot on race day. Usually, it's a protein bar or a protein shake, lots of water, body armor, and that's kind of it for race day.
All right, last one for you. I'm just interested because you were born in Australia, moved here when you were young. Is there anything Australian that you do that you didn't really know was part of the American culture until someone was like, hey, that's kind of weird?
The one thing my parents always laugh at me for, because Americans don't do this, but like Australians always have this thing about wearing flip-flops or slides with socks, and I kind of do it randomly, and then my American friends are always like, what are you doing? That's definitely the number one thing that happens, and it's horrible.
Because I've also heard that you only get your Australian accent back when you talk to family, but it's also fun to listen to you talk about either say Brisbane or Australia, because then you can kind of hear it come back again. But besides that, you would never know.
So yeah, if I talk to my family in Australia, it's definitely like, oh, it instantly comes back, and then I'd say an hour after the call, it's back to American, the California lifestyle. So
all right, Bridget. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you got plenty going on. Thank you for joining us, and best of luck this weekend in Colorado.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
This is the Inside Lane on Sports 360 AZ. Keep it here to keep up with everything going on. Getting ready for NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway.